right, Shalom. I want to start off, as always, by giving all praises and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, Bahashim Racha Kodash, double honors unto the apostles, the elders, and the bishops of Great Millstone. I want to send much love unto the brothers out there doing his work in truth and sincerity. And also want to send peace and blessings unto the believers of the hopeful elect. And in this lesson, I wanted to read the book of Acts, chapter 14, and go through the whole chapter here and pull out some key things that the apostles of old had to deal with and how they overcame in certain situations, all right? And even in our times, today, man, we're going to face tough times, all right? Death. I mean, things are going to get real, okay? It's going to get very real and very uncomfortable, right, as we draw nigh to the end. But we have these examples here in the Holy Scriptures to comfort us in our worry, right, or in our doubts. We have these things written so that we can read them and build our faith, right, strengthen our spirits for when we are put in certain situations, as we're about to read here with the apostles, okay? And so I'm going to go through this here, man, and Lord willing, this be edifying and comforting unto you brothers and sisters out there, all right? So starting here in Acts chapter 14, verse 1, it says, "And it came to pass in Iconium that they went both together into the synagogue of the Jews, and so spake, that a great multitude both of the Jews and also of the Greeks believed." So when Paul and the men who were with him went into the synagogue of the Jews, man, and preaching the gospel about Yahushai, many of the people, both of the Jews, meaning the Israelites who grew up knowing their heritage, they believed, but also you had the Israelite foreigners, okay, who grew up as Greeks. They also believed the gospel, okay? It says, "But the unbelieving Jews stirred up the Gentiles and made their minds evil affected against the brethren." So these unbelieving Jews, right, these wicked jakes, man, they stirred up the Gentiles to be pretty much angry with the Apostle Paul and them, okay? It's always Jake who is coming up against the word, man, who is always in opposition of the truth, all right? Our greatest opposition is Jake, man. Since the beginning of time, Jake has hated the prophets, okay? Jake have killed the prophets, man. And it's the same thing today, all right? The unbelieving Jakes who are not down with this truth, man, even guys so-called in the faith, all right? These unbelieving guys, they're always talking ish. They always go above and beyond to try to bring down brothers, try to expose brothers, joining hand in hand with the wicked. I mean, just crazy things, man. It's always Jake. And this is why Yahushua said this here in the book of Matthew chapter 23, all right? Real quick, I'm going to grab this here. Matthew chapter 23. I'm going to get the red letter here. And jumping down here, right, it says, get to the point. It says, Matthew 23, verse 29, it says, "Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, because you build the tomb of the prophets and garnish the sepulchres of the righteous, and say, if we had been in the days of our fathers, we would not have been partakers with them in the blood of the prophets. So in other words, if we was back then, during the time of our forefathers, we wouldn't have killed the prophets, right? In other words, we would have stood up for the prophets, right? But Yahushua called them out. He says, wherefore ye be witnesses unto yourselves that ye are the children of them which killed the prophets. Because these same guys, during the time of Yahushua, they was trying to kill Yahushua, man. And in the book of Acts, these same guys was going after the apostles, right? Paul, Peter, and them, the believers, gathering them up, throwing them in jail. That was killing some of them. Just being complete demons, man. It's always Jake who is in opposition of this thing, man. Niggas, bro. All right? It says, fill ye up then the measure of your fathers. And this is what wicked Jake's going to do, man. Eventually, these unbelieving guys, these demons in Israel, they're going to get physical, man. And start personally coming at brothers. All right? Because they're being called out for their wickedness, man. I remember a while back when you had the, black unconscionist community going hard against the Israelites, right? It got to a point to where Brother Polite, he went to go get the Crip and the Bloods. And he said, this is the dark side or the other side of black unconsciousness, right? That y'all don't want to see. And in the video, Jake was talking about pulling up to the blocks and shooting brothers, man. This is how serious this thing can get, bro, to where Jake want to take your life for telling them, look, brother, you got to repent. Turn from them idols, man. Stop being niggas. Stop committing adultery. Stop being a murderer, okay? Do the right things, man. Jake will kill you, bro. Because Yahushua during his time, he didn't tell them nothing wrong, man. He was giving them the full truth, okay? He was giving them the full truth, man. But they didn't want to accept it. Because in their minds, they were the authority, right? That was in Moses' seat, okay? We them guys. How dare you come up to the synagogue and tell us that we're wrong? All these scrolls we got, this big old garment I got on, They were feeling themselves, man. But Yahushua was getting on their tails, okay? It says, ye serpents, ye generation of vipers, how can ye escape the damnation of hell? Right. You wicked Jakes out there, man. You will not escape the damnations of hell, okay? And this isn't talking about some mystical place, man, all right? Please stop the madness. It is judgment that awaits the wicked of our people, man. Those who really hate this truth, man. It's guys calling themselves Israelites who really hate this truth, man. And it's not so much of them, just hating the truth. They hate the men who bring it out, okay? That's what it really is. They hate the men who are calling them out for their BS, man. But ultimately, they hate the truth, man. All right? It says, wherefore, behold, I send unto you prophets and wise men and scribes, and some of them ye shall kill. So Jake gonna kill some of the prophets, man, in these times, okay? It's been happening since the beginning of time, bro. Jake been killing the prophets. It says, and crucify, and some of them shall ye scourge in your synagogues and persecute them from city to city. So our Lord Yahushua already told the disciples, look, man, these niggas gonna be chasing you from city to city. And you will see this as I read the book of Acts chapter 14. They was chasing Paul and them around, man, from city to city, trying to stop the gospel, bro. These were real life demons, okay? It says that upon you may come all the righteous blood shed upon the earth, from the blood of righteous Abel unto the blood of Zacharias, son of Barachas, whom ye slew between the temple and the altar. Verily I say unto you, all these things shall come upon this generation. So When Paul and the men who were with him went into the synagogue, preaching about Yahushua, these unbelieving Jews starting BS, man. Okay? It says, verse 3, long time, therefore, abode they speaking boldly in the Lord, which gave testimony unto the word of his grace, and granted signs and wonders to be done by their hands. So to further substantiate that he was dealing with the apostles, he allowed signs, wonders, miracles to be done by the apostles, man. All right? Verse 4 says, but the multitude of the city was divided, and part held with the Jews and part with the apostles. So even though the apostles was doing signs and wonders, man, miracles, okay, that was doing magnificent things, there was still a division amongst the people, man. And that's how the Lord wants it, okay? But even miracles, all right, miracles could not stop Jake from being a demon, man. And our Lord Yahushua, he was dealing with the same thing, okay? When he was doing miracles, you still had Jakes who would not believe, man. This is John chapter 12, all right? John chapter 12, and I'm going to go here to verse 37. Yeah, I think it's 37. John 12:37, it says, but though he had done so many miracles before them, yet they believed not on him. So miracles are not enough for Jake, man. Spiritual power isn't enough for Jake to stop being demons, man. It says that the saying of Isaiah, the prophet, might be fulfilled, which he spake, Lord, who have believed our report, and to whom had the arm of the Lord been revealed. Therefore they could not believe, because that Isaiah said again, he had blinded their eyes and hardened their heart, that they should not see with their eyes, nor understand with their heart, and be converted, and I should heal them. So ultimately, it was prophecy's sake why Jake couldn't get the word. And it's the same thing today, right? What Isaiah said back then, it applies today. It doesn't matter if we get spiritual power. If it's not meant for Jake to get it, they ain't going to get it, bro, though they see spiritual power. They'll find a way to say, oh, they witches, or, there's something crazy, man. Jake is, truly crazy, all right? Verse 41 says, these things said Isaiah when he saw his glory and spake of him. Nevertheless, among the chief rulers, also many believed on him, but because of the Pharisees, they did not confess him, lest they should be put out of the synagogue, for they love the praise of men more than the praise of Yahweh. So you had these chief rulers who believed on Yahushua, but they feared those wicked scribes and Pharisees more. They feared them more, man. And they loved the praise of men, right? Love being admired more than the praises that come from serving the Most High God, Yahweh. It's the same thing that we see today, man. Okay? They love the praise of men, but they don't want to be praised of the Most High, man, for doing righteousness. Okay? So going here back to Acts, right? It says, verse 5 now, it says, and when there was an assault made both of the Gentiles and also of the Jews with their rulers to use them despitefully and to stone them. So they was trying to stone the apostles, man. Not because it was game banging or stealing or robbing or committing adultery. This is for preaching the gospel, man. For doing the work of the Lord. They was ready to kill them, okay? This is serious, man. You brothers out there, you got to know what you're a part of, man. Know what you have signed up for, okay? People will try to kill you for preaching about Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai, man. This you have to know. Like this got to be ingrained in your mind, man. That I could potentially be put to death for this thing, man. And guess what? You have to be okay with death and this truth, okay? Put that in your spiritual pipe and smoke that. You have to be okay with death, man, because you could very well face it. But don't let that worry you, all right? Because we already have the victory if we be in Yahushua, man. But you see the severity of being a man of the Lord. People will try to kill you, bro, for preaching about Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua, man. So the apostles, right, that was in constant danger, man, of these niggas trying to get them, bro, okay? It says they were aware of it and fled to Lystra and Derbe. So they fled away, man. They had to get away from niggas. Niggas try to kill them, bro. Jake is crazy, man, okay? The apostles had to flee, all right? It says cities of Lycaonia and unto the region that lied round about. It says, and there they preached the gospel. It says, and there sat a certain man at Lystra, impotent in his feet, being crippled from his mother's womb, who never had walked. It says, the same heard Paul speak, who steadfastly beholding him and perceiving that he had faith to be healed. So with a loud voice, said with a loud voice, stand upright on thy feet, and he leaped and walked. So the apostles had power, man, okay? Can you imagine having this kind of power, or at least seeing it, all right? Seeing a brother heal someone in the name of Yahushua, man. The apostles was walking around with this power, man. The spirit was heavy on those men, okay? Heavy on them, man. This is the God that we serve. He is capable of giving this kind of power to his men. And I believe that he's going to do it, all right, in our time, man, to further substantiate that, look, we are the prophets. We are his men. We are his children, all right? I believe that we'll be declared through power, man, before the world, okay? It says, and when the people saw what Paul had done, they lifted up their voices, saying in the speech of Lycaonia, the gods are come down to us in the likeness of men. So these Jakes who was in Lycaonia started to bug out, man, because they was heavy into idol worshiping, all right? Very heavy into it. So they thought the gods came down, they thought Zeus, came down and healed the man, okay? It says, and they called Barnabas Jupiter, right? Now, Jupiter is the Roman god, right? He's the same as Zeus, okay? The Greek god Zeus. I have Zeus pulled up here, okay? This is a World History Encyclopedia. And you can go read about Zeus, right? But they call Barnabas Jupiter or Zeus, right? The Greek god Zeus. It says, and Paul, Mercury, Mercury, right? Or Hermes, okay? Mercury is the Roman god, and Hermes is the Greek god, right? It's the same gods. They just have different names, okay? So they call Barnabas Zeus, and they call Paul Hermes, right? But it's the Roman way of saying it, Jupiter and Mercury. It says because he was the chief speaker. So these Jakes who was in Lycaonia, there was heavy into idolatry, man, as you can see, right? It says, then the priests of Jupiter, which was before their city, brought oxen and girlings unto the gates and would have done sacrifice with the people, which when the apostles, Barnabas and Paul, heard of, they rent their clothes and ran in amongst the people crying out. So like, hey, hold on, man. Y'all tripping, okay? That was tripping, man. But you got to understand, this is how Jake grew up. Jake grew up serving idols back then. They were making sacrifices to these idols, man. And when Paul performed their miracle, they really thought that, Zeus came down, right? If you get into, a Greek mythology, man, those those guys, they got different powers and different, abilities. So they're like, look, man, hey, look, Zeus came down. Hermes came down to heal his man, okay? But Paul didn't possess that power because of Hermes of Jupiter. It's because of Yahweh Ba'ashim Shai, man. Through the Holy Spirit, right? It says, and saying, sirs, why do ye these things? We also are men of like passions with you, and preach unto you that ye should turn from these vanities unto the living God, which made heaven and earth and the sea and all things that are therein. So Paul saying, look, man, y'all got to turn away from these idols. Turn away from this Greek mythology, man. From Roman mythology, all right? And their pantheon of gods. It's just a bunch of mysticism, man. But people really believed in that stuff back then. Just like Jake believed in idols today, okay? It says, who in time past suffered all nations to walk in their own ways, right? The Most High God, he gave these nations over unto different idols, right? Different things to worship, okay? But there wasn't Israel a lot to serve idols. They had the Most High God, okay? It says, nevertheless, he left not himself without witness, right? The Most High God, though these nations were bugged out, man, he always has evidence of him being real, of his existence, man. Just look at creation. Creation alone is enough to say, hey, look, man, there's a higher power, bro. Because ain't no way in hell that all this just came about, out of nowhere. No, somebody made this, bro. Like somebody put this together, okay? It is too much order in the earth. It's too much beauty, man. It's too much design. I mean, bro, you can go on and on about creation, man. The Most High God put this together, man. Things that we can see, things that we can't see, all right? It says, and that he did good and gave us rain from heaven and fruitful seasons, filling our hearts with food and gladness. It says, and with these sayings scarce restrained they the people, that they had not done sacrifice unto them. So they pretty much, got them to at least slow down and not make sacrifices unto them as if they were gods, man. Okay. In particular, Jupiter and Mercury. All right. Verse 19, it says, and there came thither Jews from Antioch and Iconium. So these individuals, okay, they came to Lycaonia from Antioch, and they came to no, there was in hold up, Paul went to where? There was in Lycaonia. Okay, so these guys, right? These unbelieving Jews, these Jakes, came to Lycaonia, right, from Antioch and Iconium, it says, who persuaded the people, and having stoned Paul, drew him out of the city, and supposing he had been dead. So these guys followed the apostles, man, and they stoned Paul. Okay? They stoned the apostle Paul, man. Bro, I seen a video of a modern stoning, okay? In one of those countries in Africa, man. They actually stoned a rainbow individual, right? I mean, they oh my goodness, they split his head, they split his shit, bro. Excuse my language. But they just kept on hitting him with rocks, hitting him. I mean, he was dead. They kept throwing. Even though he was dead, they kept throwing, man. I mean, they was cocking back far, and they was hitting him with them stones, and you can just see the blood coming out of his head, man. You know, they kept going, bro. A stoning, right? Now I have just a quick wiki pull up here. It says stoning or lapidation is a method of capital punishment where a group throws stones at a person until the subject dies from blunt trauma. It has been attested as a form of punishment for grave misdeeds since ancient history, right? Now going to this portion here, it says, kind of small, a little bigger, right? It says stoning appears to have been the standard method of capital punishment in ancient Israel, right? Back in ancient Israel, certain acts that you committed, you got stoned for it, man. Okay? And the Jews who didn't believe, right, these knuckleheads, they was pretty much accusing Paul of preaching another God, right? Or preaching about Yahushua, okay? Because in our laws, it says that, look, if you find somebody who is talking about another God or going to serve another God, you can, put them to death. So in their minds, right, these guys here in Acts 14 and 19, in their minds, they were so-called executing the law to them, right? But really they were just jealous, man. And so it says once again, and there came to certain Jews from Antioch and Iconium, right? So they came following the apostles, man, who persuaded the people, and having stoned Paul, drew him out of the city, supposing he had been dead. And only the Lord knows, all right, how the apostle Paul looked after that stoning, man. Could have had chipped teeth, eye, he could have had one eye. Because keep in mind, these people hated the apostle Paul and them, man. They hated them, like, for real, for real. So when Jake held them stones, they were trying to take Paul out of there, Jack. And the apostle Paul actually died. All right, he had that out-of-body experience. He speaks about it in the book of 2 Corinthians, or the epistle, right? 2 Corinthians chapter 12. How he went to the third heaven, right? You know what? I'll get it. Okay. But Jake killed, man, Jake, bro. Jake is something else, man. This is 2 Corinthians 12 and 1. It says, it is not expedient for me, doubtless, to glory. I will come to visions and revelation of the Lord. I knew a man in Mashiach about 14 years ago, whether in the body, I cannot tell, or whether out of the body, I cannot tell. The Most High know it. Such and one caught up to the third heaven. Meaning what? He died. And he went to the spiritual realm. Because the niggas killed him, man. They stoned him. Okay? It says, And I knew such a man, whether in the body or out of the body, I could not tell. The Most High know it. How that he was caught up into paradise and heard unspeakable words, which is not lawful for a man to utter. In other words, he couldn't put into words what he seen, what he heard, man, in paradise, okay? And Yahweh, he is bringing that paradise, right, that glory, that beauty to the planet, man. So you know the kingdom going to be live, okay? It always going to be live. It's going to be live, Jack, all right? Beauty that we can't put into words. But Paul actually died and went to the third heaven, man. Okay? So going here back to Acts now, and also keep in mind, Paul got stoned for preaching the gospel. Okay? He didn't get stoned for nothing else but preaching about Yahweh. Okay? This is how serious this ministry is. All right? It says, verse 20, howbeit, as the disciples stood around about him, he rose up and came into the city. So the Lord put the spirit back in Paul, man. And he got up. Okay? Can you imagine seeing that? Standing there around the Apostle Paul, he leaking blood, right? He leaking blood, man. From a stoning, bro. Piles of rocks on him. And he actually died. But the Lord put the spirit back in him, man. And he came into the city, right? It says, and the next day he departed with Barnabas to Derbe. It says, and when they had preached the gospel to that city, so, bro, come on, man. He got stoned one day, and then the very next day, he went right back to preaching the gospel, man. Come on, bro. The spirit that was on this man, okay? The spirit that was on this man, bro. He probably had scars on his face, lip probably had, swelling, eye probably been missing. Who knows? He got stoned. And he went right back to preaching, bro. He went right back to the same thing that got him stoned, right? And you think that you got troubles, huh? You think you're going through something? Come on, man. This is why these things are written for us to read, man. So that we can get out of our own damn heads, right? Our own little complaints and see, look, man, our forefathers really went through it, man. And despite all that shit that they had to suffer, man, the man kept preaching the gospel, bro. He just got stoned yesterday, came back the next day, started back preaching, man. What the fuck is you complaining about, dog? You shouldn't have nothing to complain about. Like, seriously, bro. Okay? And I understand that we're human, but we have our days, but hey, come on, man. How can you read this and still be freaking lazy, bro? How can you read this and be in a woe is me spirit, right? Shaking your head spirit, man. In a down and out sluggish spirit. How, bro? You're not going through this. The most you're going through is some shit with your baby mama. Or your job. That's about it, bro. That's about it. Maybe some finances, That's it. You ain't dying. Nobody beat your ass for preaching the gospel. Ain't nobody beat you, bro, for preaching the word. Nobody has hung your life for preaching the word every day. They were trying to kill Paul every day. And the apostles, they try to get him every day, bro. And when they caught him, what they did, they beat him and threw him in jail every time they caught the apostles, bro. Every time they caught him, read the book of Acts, man. They threw him in jail. They beat the shit out of them, bro, every time. Paul was getting his ass, but Paul was getting beat, bro. Every time the niggas caught up to Paul. Every time they lay hands on Paul, they fucking beat him, man. And you think that you got some troubles, dog. Seriously. Like, seriously, bro. You better man up, player. But our day is coming. All right? Don't worry. Our day is coming, man. To when Esau catch one of us, right? He ain't gonna show no mercy. He ain't gonna show no mercy. Esau gonna put us right to death. Honest, I mean, it can be a fucking summary execution, man. If you don't know what a summary execution is, Google it. Google summary execution, man. It's gonna get real, bro. Okay? All that stuff that we've been talking about all these years, right? All this stuff that we have been saying and projecting. Well, when this comes, you better be about it. Okay? You better be about it, man. Because if you're not, you're gonna fold. All right? You're gonna fold quick. Okay? As soon as a little bitty hell comes, right? As soon as your face is plastered over CNN, Esau ain't even touched you yet. It's just videos of you on CNN, making you look crazy as hell, right? A compilation video of you talking crazy, looking mad, you know. Esau might, throw in some AI, stuff in there and have you looking crazy as hell, man. Who knows? But your life will be hunted, okay? You can believe that shit. Your life will be hunted just as Paul and them life was freaking hunted, man. But the Apostle Paul showed resilience, man. All the men of the Lord did. Showed great resilience, bro. The man got stoned one day, started back preaching the next day, right? It says, and when they had preached the gospel to that city and had taught many, they returned again to Lystra and to Iconium and Antioch, right? The same places where he was getting persecuted. The same place where he got stoned, nigga killed them, bro. He went back to the city, man. And what did Paul do when he went back to those cities, right? It says, conforming the souls of the disciples and exhorting them to continue in the faith, and that we must through much tribulation enter into the kingdom of Yahweh. Now you see why the book of Acts say this. If you read up a couple of verses, you'll see why it says what it says for now. Paul got stoned to death. The brothers who was in these different cities saw the Apostle Paul get stoned to death. They was there to witness it. Okay? Some heard about it. So seeing the Apostle Paul face again, Paul said, hey, look, let's go, man. Now, if you get this word conforming here, right? In the Greek, okay? You get this word here, conforming.
Strong's G, 1991, episterizo. Episterizo.
Right? It's a compound word. It says to establish besides, strengthen more, to render more firm, confirm. All right? Hey, man. You got to strengthen your inner man every day. All right? Every day, okay? Like no days off. You got to work on yourself, man. Examine yourself whether you be in the faith, all right? Strengthen yourself through prayer, through fasting, through reading the scriptures, man. To build yourself, all right? Because man, oh man, we got some hell to face in the near future. Okay, but we got some hell to face. You think you're going through something with your baby mama? Or your job, but it ain't nothing, boy. Wait till you can't go home. Wait till you cannot go home, Mark. Then you're going to know shit real. To where you can't see your kids and your woman, right? You're going to know it's real then. Because if you go home, Esau going to snatch your fucking ass up. You better not go home. He'll be waiting on you, right? Or shit, Esau might come get you from your job where you are more vulnerable. You know, you're locked in at your desk or, you know, doing whatever you're doing at your job. Esau pull up and snatch you up, right? Pull up in them little SUVs, trucks. Tell your boss, hey, look, have him come to the office. They call you, you know, hey, so-and-so come to the office. You know, we got some, you know, people here to see you. As soon as you go in that bitch, Esau, hey, click, you gone, player. Put them cuffs on you and you're gone. No cell phone to call nobody, no nothing. It's just you, Esau, and the Lord. What you gonna do? What is you gonna do, player? You better be taking this serious, okay? You better be taking this fucking serious, man. Because there's no guarantee that you're gonna be locked up somewhere with a brother. Or no. You could very well be by yourself all alone. What you gonna do? You better be taking it serious, man. Or you fucking around and crack and take the MOTB and tell Esau, man, you know what, bro? I wasn't taking the Israelite stuff serious. It was just something to do because I was bored. Right? Okay. Okay. Keep taking this shit a game, player. You're gonna fold, Jack. You better be taking these scriptures serious, taking your life serious, man. It says, conforming the souls of the disciples and exhorting them to continue in the faith. Because sometimes it's gonna get hard, man. It's gonna get tough. Okay? It's gonna get tough, man. Most High put you through the fire, bro. Bring you low, bro. Okay? Humiliate you. It happens. But guess what? You better continue in the faith. You better continue in the faith, man. It's a part of it. It's a part of it, bro. If you in this thing, brother, you're going to suffer. Okay? It's a part of it. This is what you signed up for. Okay? Real quick, let me go to this one first. 1 Corinthians chapter 1. Okay, I'm going to get a free precept to show you that this is what you signed up for. Just in case you think it's a game. All right? This is 1 Corinthians chapter 1. And here we go. It says 1-9. The Most High is faithful, by whom you were called unto the fellowship of his son Yahushua Mashiach, our Lord. So you were called a fellowship with Yahushua, right? And when you fellowship with Yahushua, okay, brother, it get real, okay? Stuff gets real with Yahushua, man. And ain't no freaking game, dog. This is serious business, man. Life and death. Okay? This is life and death, man. My bad, Philippians 1. I'm sorry. Philippians 1. Yes, sir. You think this thing sweet you want to, fella, you gonna fucking crack, dog. Dude, this is Philippians 1, I'm sorry, verse 27. It says, only let your conversation be as it become the gospel of Mashiach, that whether I come and see you or else be absent, I may hear of your affairs, that you stand fast in one spirit, with one mind, striving together for the faith of the gospel, and in nothing terrified by your adversaries, okay? You shouldn't be terrified by your adversaries, brother. We have Yahweh Ba'ashim, man. You shouldn't be ashamed to preach the gospel out on the highways and byways, man. The Lord is with us, okay? You shouldn't fear Esau. It says, which is to them an evident token of perdition. So with us being out on the highways and the byways, us doing these lessons, man, this is an evident token that Esau is going down. It's prophecy, man. Revelation chapter 11, verse 11 on down. It says, but to you salvation and that of Yahweh. So what we're doing is going to lead to salvation. But what we're doing is going to lead to Esau's downfall. And ain't nothing he can do about it, man. It says, for unto you it is given in the behalf of Mashiach, not only to believe on him, but also to suffer for his sake. When Paul says things like this, he's not just talking, man. The man died, bro, okay? The man was stoned. The man was beaten. He was beaten, man. He's not just talking, bro. He's telling you for real, this is serious. You will suffer, okay? It says, having the same conflict which you saw in me, and now here to be in me, okay? Paul was in jail when he wrote this epistle, right? If you didn't know that. The man was in jail. He was in jail, okay? How do we know this? How do we know Paul was in jail, right? Philippians, right? Let me see here. Here we go. Philippians 1, okay. Let me show you this. Philippians 1. And we start here at verse 12. It says, but I would ye should understand, brethren, that the things which happen unto me have fallen out rather unto the furtherance of the gospel, so that my bonds and Mashiach are manifested in all the palace and in all other places, and many of the brethren in the Lord, waxing confidence by my bonds, are much more bold to speak the word without fear. Paul was in jail, man. And they understood that, look, man, Paul went to jail for preaching the gospel. Brothers got amped up, man. And started even to speak even more, knowing that, look, I'm going to go to jail, or look, I can even die. They didn't give a damn. That was fully convicted, man. They were, hey, look, I trust in Yahweh. Shall do what you got to do to me. And guess what the Romans did to him? Put him to death. They had circus games, right? They were, throwing Jake to the lion. Bro, the Romans went so far to making Jakes into street lamps, okay? They used to burn Jake at night and hang him on a pole and use his body for a street fucking light, man. That is a torturous way to die, bro. But Esau was doing that to Jake, man. This is serious business, bro. Okay? Serious. Right? But it says what? Oh, hold up. I got one more. One more here. In 1 Thessalonians chapter 3. One more, right? It says, yeah, my bad. Yep, 3 and 1. 1 Thessalonians 3 and 1, it says, wherefore, when we could no longer forbear, we thought it good to be left at Athens alone, and sent Timotheus, our brother and minister of the Most High, and our fellow laborer in the gospel of Mashiach, to establish you and to comfort you concerning your faith, that no man should be moved by these afflictions, for yourselves know that we are appointed thereunto. So we are appointed unto afflictions, right? It says, for verily, when we were with you, we told you before that we should suffer tribulation, even as it is come to pass, and ye know. So we're going to suffer that hell, man. This is why it's saying what it's saying, man. Confirming the souls of the disciples and exhorting them to continue in the faith, and that we must do much tribulation enter into the kingdom of the Most High. It says, and when they had ordained elders in every church and had prayed with fasting, they commended them to the Lord, on whom they believed. And after they had passed through Pisidia, they came to Pamphylia. It says, and when they had preached the word in Perga, they went down to Attalia, and then sailed to Antioch, from whence they had been recommended to the grace of the Most High for the work which they fulfilled. And when they were come and had gathered the church together, they rehearsed all that the Most High had done with them, and how he had opened the door of faith unto the Gentiles. And there they abode long time with the disciples. So with that, we're going to close out, man. All right, but this chapter here in Acts is a very good read. All right, for when you're feeling down, or you just pouting, like a damn woman. You better go read this, man. This is serious, bro. Okay, but it's also comforting. Okay, it's also comforting, man. It builds you up. All right, it makes you stronger, man. Because we are preparing for that day, right? For that time of testing is coming, But Lord willing, it was edifying, man. I'm going to close out here by giving our praise and glory once again unto Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Chakodash, the abundance unto the apostle of the great millstone. Peace and blessing to the elect. Shalom.